Any of you pulled up the assignment A2? Okay. Well, I'm going to read over it here together in class and make sure everyone understands it, because what we're going to, this is your problem that I have told you that will always be one, just like what you can expect from the hands-on test. So this is actually in Evernote. You should be able to pull it up. It's a linked file there. And what you'll notice is that this is a modification of assignment 1, which is a lot of times what will happen when we are in doing work somewhere is that you'll be asked to come in and modify a program, okay? And this is what a lot of your homework was too, was modifying. So I have stated assignment 1 the way it was, and then this is something that you have to add. And so I put it in red print there. If you print it out, it won't come out red back there. But anyway, so what the assignment 1 is still the same. So if you have your problem from assignment 1 and it worked, then all you have to do is modify it, okay? So you don't have to start over from scratch, okay? All you really have to add is an if else, right? Okay, so here is what the second part of the problem is to modify. Well, I'll go ahead and read the first one. Mathis Brothers Furniture Store gets desk lamps and coffee tables from your company. Each desk lamp costs $65 and each coffee table costs $155. So write a flowchart or pseudocode and JavaScript source code for a program which Mathis Brothers can run on your website to compute what their invoice total will be when they order a certain number of lamps and coffee tables from your company. So that part of the problem, that's not going to change. It says the program will prompt Mathis Brothers buying clerk to first enter the number of desk lamps they wish to purchase and then ask them the number of coffee tables they would buy. This is what you add, another input. Next, you would ask the type of wood of the coffee tables. Then the program would compute the cost of their purchase and print that to the console. Now, one thing that I want you to see is on the modification, it just says that in addition to the input requested for inventory, you need to request the type of wood that the coffee tables are with the following options stated in your request. So when you request that they enter the wood type, you need to say it can be either mahogany, which will charge you an additional $75, oak, which will charge you an additional $100. If they want to enter pine, which you need to give them that option, then there's no charge added, okay? So now I want to also remind you that on this assignment, if you don't use the named constants, then I will count off for it, because last time if you got the problem right, I didn't count off if you didn't use named constants. But this time, you for sure need to use named constants, the 2 that everyone did before. But then there's another possibility for it, named constants, and I list them for you. Use named constants where appropriate. Hint, extra fees for type of wood and the costs of items. So that would be, these are going to be also named constants. Okay. Now, sometimes people didn't understand why I put test runs there, so I want to go over that in this assignment. Test runs are so that I can test everybody's program with the same values and you get the same results. Okay, so that's easy for me to see if your logic is correct. So if you want to see if your logic is correct, once you get your JavaScript running, you should test it with 2 desk lamps, 3 coffee tables, and if you enter mahogany as the wood type, then this should be your output. The cost of merchandise you bought is $670. Thanks for using our website. Okay? So that's the output that you should get. And I'm not having you put decimal points. Any of you that, what's your name? That you started using 2 fixed? Yeah. Hi, Chelsea. Okay. She wanted to know how to put .00 at the end of money. If you want to do that, you can look up a function called 2 fixed. But there is, later on, we're going to learn that, and it's going to be required in your last test. But right now it's not. So if you've got all you want to learn right now, then don't worry about that. Just put the cost. We're not figuring out how to put 0.00. So 670, if you put mahogany in, then the second test run, you can still use the same 2 and 3, but if you put oak in, your answer should say the cost of merchandise you bought is $695. Wait, is that right? 670. That's not correct. Oh yeah, which one's more? Let me go up here again. Mahogany was 75 and oak was 100. Oh, that's right. So, sorry. 695. Thanks for using our website. I did this like 5:30 this morning, so y'all have to forgive me. I have to make sure that I didn't do something wrong. Okay, so please submit the following. The flow chart saved as a PDF. So either if you use Visio or what's the one that Mac people are using? Lucidchart. They still should be submitted as a PDF. And some people submit their pseudocode as PDF, and that's fine. That's great. So either a Word document, your pseudocode, or a PDF, and then it would be worth 15 points. So you notice the most number of points, because what I want to know is, do you have the logic right? And even if your JavaScript doesn't run, the logic is the most important. Do you have the logic right? 15 points. JavaScript is 12 points, but it must work and give the correct output for the full 12 points, okay? So if you code the JavaScript, but the logic is in error, maybe you don't get the right answers, right? That's what logic means. Or if you code it and it won't run, but you've at least submitted something, you can get up to 8 points, okay? And then the zipped files. Now, I'm going to be real picky about this little thing this time, because this will be the second assignment, and we're supposed to do it in test too. So you should have your chapter folder, which is chapter 3. I'm having your assignments put in there, right? This semester, I think that's how I did it. So your zip file, you should zip your 2 files. You should have 2. This one and the HTML file. Zip them into a folder called A2 _ and you can put your initials there. You don't have to put your whole name. But you need to have both those, not just A2, because then whenever I save it or unzip it, I have everybody with A2. It writes over the other one, okay? So it needs to have your identifying mark here, all right? Either your initials or your name, whichever. .zip. And I want only that up in your Google Drive for that assignment. Don't put the PDF and the HTML file and the zip file, okay? Put just the zip file this time. And then the file zipped and correctly put into the Google Drive for lecture class or submitted into Canvas as a zip file for online classes worth 3 points, okay? So that's worth an additional 3 points out of the 30. And if you add those together, hopefully that's 30 this time, so I don't mess everybody up with 25, 15. Is that right? Or is that 30? No. Huh. Wait a minute.
15 plus 12.
Oh, yeah, that is. Okay, I was looking at the 8. Okay. All right, so anybody have any questions over this assignment? Because it's going to be due before class on Thursday. All right? Before class on Thursday. Because I want to go over it in class on Thursday. So if you don't submit it before class on Thursday, then you won't get very much credit for it, because we're going to go over the whole thing in class Thursday. Okay? That's why I'm not giving the test on Thursday yet, because I want to be sure everyone understands how to do this, because that's what your test will be on Tuesday. Will look like this. But we're going to go over this problem on Thursday, and then we're going to go ahead and start chapter 4. Okay? So I want you to have read chapter 4 and have this assignment done. Or let me see how far, because I know you won't. If I can give you maybe you'll at least read it if I give you a certain number of pages, because it's real. This is going to be probably other than arrays, the most important chapter that we have, looping. So I want you to watch the instructor's video before class. It's on page 119 is where it tells you that. And we will at least get to, let's see how long this chapter is. Okay, it goes to 147. So let's stop at, okay, I'm going to try to get through 137 on Thursday. So if you have at least read to there, and then I won't put the reading quiz up till next week for you, okay? Because you've got too much to, they'll be after Tuesday. It'll be Tuesday. I'll initialize the reading test after our hands-on test, okay? All right, so this is the problem that you're to work on. I'm going to give you some time in here, but first I want to see if there was any problems with any of the assignments. If anybody wants me to go over, because those were supposed to have already been turned into, any of the chapter 3 exercises.
I want to ask about, you put out your test sample for chapter 3, example 4 test, and in there you've got alert. What's that alert command?
Chapter 4. Where are you talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, on Evernote. Oh, I know what you're talking about. Okay. What this is,
Yeah,
you're talking about this one, right?
So what is that alert?
Okay, alert is like a debugging tool. Okay, so let me run this problem and show you what it does. Let's go to Dreamweaver. And several of you, I've used it with your assignments because we've tried to find a logic error, so you know what we use it for. Let's see here. Okay, so this one, what's that called? It's chapter
3, example 4 test.
Okay, chapter 3, example 4 test. Let me see where I put that. Must be maybe it's in those chapter 3 examples. Oh, I'm in the wrong semester here. Help if I get in the right semester. Spring, IT 1113, chapter 3 examples. Is that where I put it? No. Okay, let's see. Chapter 3. Oh, well, I'll just download it from Evernote again because I can't find it. Okay, let's see. Chapter 3, save. Must have not been in there. There it is. Okay, so if you, let me open this with Dreamweaver. The purpose of the alert, this little alert that I have here, is simply to let you know what's in that variable at any given time in the execution of your program, without having to do like a document.write line and print it out. This is like a debug tool. There's other times that they use it, but like what was happening was we didn't know if when they entered something in a string and put it in this variable addcat, it didn't appear to be what we had assumed. What did you test for here? Let's see, how many words? What were we putting in add category? It was like business, wasn't it? Or fan?
Yeah,
business.
Found in business. Okay. So what was happening was this program wasn't getting past right here.
right.
And so what we did is we put this in here to see if there was something in that. It was like a debug thing. So like if I run it here and it told me that let's see. It will tell you, and you can put it anywhere in your program that you're having trouble. And so you can see if it's working. Oh, yeah, that won't do that. Hold on. Okay, what is your name? Wilson. What category? And so you're supposed to put found. Is that the one that was found or business?
Yeah.
Is that the problem? Okay. Found. Okay. And see it. So the alert made it do that, and it stopped. Right. It appears that it didn't do anything after that because there's no document. If I say okay, then it just starts over again. So how many? Oh no, it's saying how many words will be used. Okay, let's say 100. I think this program really worked. Maybe. So it went down. It asked this, and then it got 9 when I put 100 in. Right. So it said, if word num, no, it's not less than. If word num is greater than 50 and less than 300. So it should have fell in here, and it should have done. This if statement, which would have been 100 minus 50 is 50. I don't know if it did the correct. Here's how I can tell. Okay, right here, I put that alert, and it told me that I put found in there. No, this is a different problem. This isn't the same
but
problem.
I had the same problem on the other one. I couldn't get it to print out the right.
Okay, let me put up.
Category.
Yeah, let me put up the one. I don't think Amelia will mind that one that you gave me. What was it called? Right here. I think that's it. And this was the one before it worked. You've got it working now, but this was the one before it worked. Okay.
Mhm.
So
I
what?
also figured out my problem with the less than or equal sign too.
Okay, so this one, which one less than or equal? Down
Under the else if statement that was trying to correct it
as
as
an
an
HTML. Okay, so right here, say I wanted to know if my prompt for add category worked. Because isn't that the one where you were supposed to put found or business services?
Yes.
Okay, so right here, I'm going to say alert. Oops. Add category, is it capital C?
Capital C.
Yeah, CATEGORY. And so now I'm going to find out what that is actually being stored in memory in that variable. Does that make sense? See what I'm doing? So if I do this, I come up here, I say preview on Safari, save. Oh, I don't know why it put that up there. Your total. Oh, that's from that last one, maybe. I don't know why that's up there. What category does your ad fall under? I'll say found. Isn't that the one? Let's see. Found, okay. How many words does your... Am I running the same one?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, this was a modification of it.
Right.
Okay. 100. I got it. So your total cost is 0. So that was where your logic was wrong.
Another issue I found, under the ad category, I had put a string variable for the total cost, and it was not liking that.
Oh, right here?
Yeah, so I changed it to 0.
To just 0 right there. Okay, so what else did it should have fallen? Let's see. You see what that told us was that. Now let's see. We want to know where it's going to, right? Okay, so it's got num words. So we put this alert in, and I know that it's picking up the category right. So I'm going to comment that one out for a second. But down here, I want to know whether it's going into this if statement. Let's see. If add category is the same as found. So if I type in found, it should be dropping in this if, right? If I type in found. So I'm going to see if it indeed is. So I'm going to say alert found and just let it give that to me. So then I'm going to know if it's actually dropping there or not. Does that make sense? See what I'm doing? Everybody see? Dakota?
No, I was just going to say, if anything, we can go back to the pseudocode because I'm having trouble as far as before I
On your what?
On my end, on where to place it.
Where to place it?
Yeah.
Okay, now this is an or. So
No,
you can.
on 4C, like if you go back to on the pseudocode. I'm not talking about. I haven't even started the JavaScript.
I know, but this is is this 4A or 4C? Oh, this is 4C, isn't
Yeah,
it?
that's 4C.
Okay, well, okay, we'll go back to the pseudocode just a second. Let me see what I'm just showing how to use an alert first, and then we'll go back to the pseudocode. Okay, so I'm wanting to see, now your pseudocode can be different depending upon how you decided to solve this problem, okay?
Do you have to have an alert in it? Or is that
No,
okay.
no, I'm sorry. This is, all this is to show people if they were having trouble with their logic, this is a little debug tool to help you find out, like where yours is stuck, what it's doing wrong. Like before we put this in here, like for instance, hers was getting a 0 out. Well, let's see what this does.
Every time because I put the wrong equal sign in.
Yeah, and we didn't know where. She didn't know where. So you can start putting this alert in to see what's stored in memory at any given time when the program's executing. Okay, but we'll go back and look at pseudocode. Okay, so, oops. Okay, first of all, let's just build this program C from scratch. Let's see how we would do it. Let's go into pseudocode. So let's go into I'm in Text Wrangler since I'm on the Mac, and we're going to do pseudocode. So, sure, let's see if I can do that. I could do it in Word, and I know I can make it bigger then. I should be able to here. And preferences, text colors, text files. Let me see here. Maybe this will show me appearance. That should be it. Text options, navigation, editing. Well, oh, here it is. List display fonts. Okay, let me make it up to 24. And let's use something like, let me see if Verdana's down here. That's my favorite. There it is. Okay, let's see if that does anything. Oh, it did not change it. Oh, it's not changing. Oh, add. Maybe it'll let me. Nope. I can't get it to let me. It says select, but then it doesn't add it. Okay, let's see. Select 24. I don't know why it's not letting me change it. Tab width, okay. Fonts, select this please. It's not changing it. Okay, oh, there, it did change it, but it didn't change to the right one. Oh my goodness. Okay, I want to add this one. New 2, which I want to be English, Verdana, 24. Select. It's not going to do it. Okay, I can't figure out how to do that. Open automatically, do nothing, new text option. Okay, I'll just do it. The reason I wanted to use this is because then it doesn't do the capitals on me. Let me see if I can just do it here. Maybe I can select. Okay, so I'll make it bigger here in just a second. Let me see if I can do it, Kalia. After I type it, it may let me highlight it and make it bigger or something. I don't know why it's doing that to me. Edit. Text Wrangler. Blah, blah. Backspace. That's all I spell. File for project. I don't know. Let me think of something else that might let me. Maybe text edit will, because I can actually use it too. Let's try that and see if it's bigger. Text edit. File new. Okay, let's see if this one will let me enlarge it better. New document. Does it have font size? Yeah, change. There we go. Change to, yeah, this one has the same box, so I don't know why Text Wrangler wasn't doing it. For Donna, regular 24. That's doing, oh, there it changed it. Rich text font. Maybe if I went even back to that, it would do it now. Okay, let's see if it did it. Still not bigger. That's stupid. Ah, come on. What is going on today with that text? Oh, there it was, I think. File new. Yeah, I think it's bigger. Okay, so if we look at the problem, I'm sorry, modify the newspaper ad program so the ad rates are the same as in the original program unless the ad is in the found category, in which case it is free, or in the business service category, in which case the charge is 20 cents per word. So our if statement only needs to catch the business services, right? Because business services are the only one that it's going to do something to. Remember when we went back and talked about problem 3 where it said between 2 and 39 years inclusive, we didn't even need to address that, right? So what happens with the found category? Nothing, right? So we don't really care if it's found, if they enter found. Do we?
Oh.
Do we care? Anybody see that differently? Tell me if you do. That doesn't mean you're wrong. Go ahead.
Well, I thought you were to enter any category, so you'd make up one like pets, and then it should skip the business section.
Okay, you're
Maybe I read it
interpreting
wrong.
it. Well, let's see. Okay, what it says.
The original one was enter a category, enter your numbers.
For example, apartment for rent and number of words. Okay, but in C, does it say to do anything if you put apartment for rent?
No, that wouldn't change.
No, nothing would change. So we don't care what they enter unless it's business services.
Or found, because found makes it nothing.
Oh, I see. Very good. Found makes it free. Very good.
Right.
That's what Chelsea said too. So that's why I wanted to see what y'all are thinking. Okay? So found and business services are the only two that we need to test for. We don't care about all the others, right? Is that right? Everybody agree? Okay? So found and business services. So we're going to have, what will work with that? We can use two ifs or we can use an if else, right? So we don't really need, or we could use the, we don't want to use an, I don't think we want to use an and or an or. Who used an and and an or? Or an or. Who used an and or an or? I don't think either one of those are going to work in that case because it would just say if it was found or business services, then we got to do another test, right? So in the beginning, if we just said if found, it's free, so then we just drop out of everything, right? If business services, else, if business services, then we want to charge 20 cents per word. If it's anything else, it's just the regular calculation. So that regular calculation could be at the top that we already have done, which was, did we write that one in a program or did we just, okay, let's do the pseudocode. Let me go, the one that I gave you all was number I gave you 4A. So that was in, I gave you the pseudocode, right? Right here, I believe it is. Okay, so let me download that one. Save it. Okay, so let's look at this one was here. Okay, this was the pseudocode for number 4. Let's make it bigger, 10%. Okay, it's a little blurry on the flow chart, but let's go. Who does flow charts? Who prefers flow charts? Amelia does. Okay, I'm going to go down to the pseudocode because you can read it a little better. So if we go here on this pseudocode, this is the one for 4A. String customer name, string add category, num words, num price, num low rate, num high rate, num word limit. Okay, first of all, in the part C, are there any named constants that we need to add? Is there a named constant that we could use?
I use business rate.
Very good. That is a good idea because that is a value that it gives us that's going to remain constant. It cannot change throughout the whole program, right? So let's call this business rate, as Faith said. Let's see. Let's go here. Num, and it would be business. So I'm going to do business underscore rate equals 0.20, right? All right. So we added that. Let's put that in another color so we'll know what's added. Okay, we added that one. Now, Dakota, is this how you started with A? Okay, so then we have input, customer name, add category, num words. Do we need any more input as a result of the modification? Any more input? No. So we're not going to change that. Okay, then if num words is less than or equal to word limit, then price equals num words times high rate, else price equals high rate plus word limit plus low rate times num words minus word limit end if. Okay, so if it is business services, is any of this going to change? Yes. So we need to make this, is anybody else have a different idea? Do you think this will change? If we're business services, what does it tell us? In which case the charge is 20 cents per word. And what are they charging here? The high rate or low rate. So we want it business rate if it's business services, right? So most often it's going to fall in this one, right? Most often, because we have an array of categories that we can choose. And business services is the only one that's going to be business rate, right? So what should we do first? What do you think would be the most efficient way? What should we do first? How can we preface this? We could use a not equals, which sometimes is not real good with not negative, but here it would actually work. If add category is not equal to business services, then we would do this. Or found, very good. So there's the or that maybe Amelia used. Did you use the or that way?
What?
We were just saying we could say if add category is not equal to business services or found, then this is how you calculate it.
I actually did it with it was actually the end if with the word limit stuff that I had it.
That you had it? Okay. Does anybody have a different idea? How did you go about it, Dakota?
Well, I got, as far as that's what, it was the word limit. I didn't know if the 20 cents was after the word limit or if it was just in general.
Actually, everywhere it would be 20 cents. So actually you could just take the business rate and put it in place. You could do the same if statement, but you would just replace, which one? Is it low rate? high rate with business rate. Okay? So you would do this same if, but you would replace that. Okay, let's see, what else could we do? Anybody have another way that they approached it that it worked?
Well, originally I did a lot of nested ifs.
Okay,
I did if found the price was zero, if at categories business services, then the price was no worse than business rate. If the rest of that.
and then the
After
rest of after it. So you eliminate, at the beginning, you said if business services, then do this, and you bypassed all this.
Right.
It dropped right out, right? There's nothing wrong with that. What we usually want to do is try to find the one that it's going to fall in the most often and do it first. But we can't really do it when it's not equals. We can do it like what you're saying and try to catch those first. But if we use not equals, then we're actually knocking it out of those two in the beginning. So we're saying if it's not equal, anybody else have a way they did it? Corey, how did you do it?
Pretty much like that.
Like with the or? You think that's how? Let me look at yours. What about yours? What's your name? James. How did you do yours?
What did I do?
This is C, 4C. Let's see if we've got some different ways, because everybody thinks a little bit different, and the way we read the problem sometimes makes our answer a little different, right? So we have to be sure when we're doing it for a client that we understand the problem exactly like they want it. Okay, so let's see. Let me go up here and get the way the solution was. How about that? Let's see what the book said. Window, I think I got it right here. This number problem is 6. Okay, so this was 4, which is going to be... Okay, here's 4C. Okay, so we have business rate, which is exactly how we did that part. But here they did use the not equals. If add category is not equal to found and not equal to business services, so we were saying not equal or equal, isn't that what we were saying? So if it's not equal to either one of these, then you do the previous end if that we already had set up, right? You see what it's saying? Now look how this one is. If add category is not equal to found and add category is not equal to business services, then do the original if else. This else goes with the if here. See that? Can y'all see back there?
Yeah,
Kalia, can you see it?
Get the and.
Can you see it from back there? Is this not big enough? Okay, let me see if I can get it a little bigger. 500. That's probably way too big. Let's see what we got here. Okay. Oops. Where's D? Okay, I think I can scroll it over here where we can see it. Okay, so the not equals is what you don't get. Is that what you said?
No, why is it an and, not an or?
Okay, because now you could do it with an or, but you've got to do these signs different. So like what we first said is if add category is not equal to business services or not equal to found, is that what we said? Okay, because the reason it's not or is because it needs to be both of these. Yeah, because that's the double negative. That's hard to figure. Okay, let me get this. Let's just look at it and see what happens. Let's figure with some values through there. Okay, here's add category. Okay, and let's say that it's equal to apartment rent, okay? And that's what somebody's in, is apartment rent. Okay, let's take that through this logic and see if it works. If add category is not equal to found, and add category is not equal to business services, okay? And it's not equal to either one of those, and so it would drop through, right? But if I said or, okay, so when I come down, it would do this statement, and then it would drop at this end if, and then it would go down to this end if, right? And go out and print. So it would use our part A calculation. You see that? Everybody see that? Everybody, let's see the faces. Tell me if you don't, because we need to plug in values until it makes sense to you.
So still, why wouldn't or work?
Okay, let's see if or would work. I don't know, maybe it would. Let's see. Because I first thought it was or also. Okay, let's see if it was apartment rent. Let's see, this value will for sure work for or, because it says if add category is not equal to found, which it's not equal to found, or if add category is not equal to business services, which it's not equal, or with an or, only one of those has to be true, right? For it to go to the if. Okay, so in this if, I'm going to put those on the same page. See if I can do that, because I don't. Let me see if I can get them on the same page where we can see them together. It's still kind of. Okay, let me see if I can put this at 300 instead of that, and then I can get it all on the. Okay, maybe y'all. Can y'all see it back at the back now? You know, Kalia, can you not? Who's on the far back? What's your name?
Morgan.
Morgan, can you see it? Not really? Let's see. Let me see if I go. Because if I want to get it all on the same page here. Oh, I went smaller, not.
So for and, they both have to be true.
Right.
That's why or doesn't work.
That's right. Because they both, if you remember the truth table.
Right.
Okay, on the truth table, for it to fall into this one, they both have to be true. Okay? So that's the only time that we want it not to fall in here. That's so confusing.
Yeah, and if it was or and you said business services.
Yeah, let's
once it
put
hit
business
found, it would have dropped out. Yeah.
Yeah, let's try this. Okay, so now if the and is there and we say business services, so it can only be equal to one of these, right? So if add category is not equal to found, and it is not equal to found, so that would be true. And if add category is not equal to business services, well, that's not true. So it's going to fall out of that and go to the else, right? So it's going to fall out of this if and go down to the else part of that if, which is right here, right? So if add category is equal to business services, then the price equals dumb words times the business rate. Okay, so what's going to happen if I put found in here? Okay, so if I put found, I'm saying if add category is not equal to found, well, it is equal to found, so that's already a false statement. So we fall out, and it says else if add categories business services. Well, it's not that either, right? So that's how with found we get free, because it doesn't do any of those calculations, right?
Yeah.
So does everybody understand that? because that is very tricky when you use double negatives and or. There may be a way with or that it would work. Does anybody know of a way that it would work with or? We'd probably have to change everything. Chelsea, you know what? Did anybody use an or? You used an or, you said, Amelia.
Yeah.
How did you use an or
I was
that
like, if add category equals found or business services, and then I did a nested if.
Okay, so if you wanted to use an or, here's one way. I'll open yours out
She
of.
was using the equals to, not the not equals to.
Yes. So on yours, let me go to our Google Drive. AG. This is chapter 3. Is it in the zipped one?
Yeah, it should be.
Okay, so this one I think it'll let me unzip right there. Now, this is not the pseudocode. This is the JavaScript. I could have looked at the pseudocode, I guess.
And I did a flowchart.
Oh, you did a flowchart. Okay. Let's see.
I have some JavaScript questions.
Okay. All right. So here on her if statement, she says if add category is equal to, which that's what the double equals in JavaScript means, found, or, and that's the pipe symbol, add category is equal to business. So she did the opposite of the and, the total opposite of the and logic, because it was not equal in both of these spots, right? It was not equal, so you had to use and. Okay, so she used the total opposite. All right, so those are
I like her way better.
You like her way because it's not negative, not a double negative. Okay, let me look at your flow chart. Let me look at your flow chart so we can see. Come on, big. Open with, oh, I didn't know what to open. There it is. Okay, so down here in our if statement, so those of you that want to see it before the JavaScript.
Okay, that's part A. I did.
Oh, there's C. Okay, there's C. Oh, where's C? Come on, mouse. Okay, let's see. I want to do it this way. Okay, so this, the way she did it, the way Amelia did it, and this is like pseudocode decoded. This would be the same, only you could use the or. If added category is equal to found, or if it's equal to business services. So if either one of these are true, it's still going to go, if it's true, if it's yes, you didn't put yes on here, if it's yes, then you test again. If it's found, then you do, oh, if it's not found, okay, now,
I didn't do the name constant for the business rate.
oh, that's okay, that's not what I'm looking at. But if, what I'm not sure of, what if found or business services? Oh, I see how you did it. If it's either one of those, or not either one of those, is the only way it's going to come over here.
Right.
Because for an or, both of these have to be false. Okay, so if you don't want to use the double negative, you could do it with the or with equals. Okay, I promise you your test won't be that hard. But I want to, this is a real good challenge of your logic here. You will, I promise you that if you get a job in programming, you'll have something like this. Okay, but your test won't be this way. Your test does not have ands and ors in it. Okay, it'll be just straight like the assignment that I gave you. But this is a real challenge. You guys came up with a couple of different ones. Of course, Amelia had a little help maybe from her dad. Her dad's a programmer, so that helps.
Mm-hmm.
So he probably knew the logic.
Yeah.
So he was out, but she tried it a long time by herself before she asked his help. Okay.
And I'm still having trouble getting it to print right because the problem wanted you to print out sorry, customer name, the ad category,
Uh-huh.
and the cost.
Oh, I
And the
didn't
number
print
of
on.
words and the cost. And my ad category keeps defaulting to my first if.
Your ad
Are
category.
When
you-
it prints,
Are you making sure that it's a double equal sign?
that
That I had problem with that.
Yeah, see, in JavaScript, whenever you do a comparison, like right here on yours, you should have had to do a double equals there.
Yeah, I actually noticed that after I turned it in. But
Because in JavaScript and any other programming language that's object-oriented that you use, C++, Java, all of them. I think we talked about this a little bit at the beginning of the semester, is that if you have an equal sign, what it means is put this value into that variable. So if you say if add category equals found, what you're saying is put found into add category. It's not a comparison. You have to put a double equals anytime it's a comparison, okay? For it to work. All right. Anybody else? Anything else? Who has Ronald? How did you do it? Did you do an or an and?
Yeah, but it wouldn't work.
It wouldn't work. Okay. Now maybe this will help. Matt, what did you do?
I don't even know.
You don't know. You did it and put it up and forgot, right? Kat, how did you do?
I did the pseudocode, but I didn't.
An and. Okay. So you use not equals then. Okay. All right. Anybody else? Anybody else want to ask about theirs? Okay. So then what you're going to do is you're going to finish, or you're going to do assignment 2, and everybody needs to have it put in their Google Drive before class, because I'm going to go over that problem. So it wouldn't be fair if I give you the answer. And that one is nothing as complicated as this one, right? Okay, it's not like this one. Okay, so do assignment 2 just as if you were doing the hands-on test, because that's what I try to do with those assignments, is give you a duplicate of what the test is going to be like, just a different problem. Okay, but it will have the same type of logic in it. Okay. All right, so you get that done and put in there, and I will try to get those. Now, are any of the quiz points showing now? Decoded, they're showing up. Okay, so we did fix that. All right, so I'll try to get some of that homework, the rest of that homework grade, at least for this chapter, before we come back, so you'll know where you're at. And remember, we have at 8 weeks, spring, I can't remember if that's before spring break. I'll probably do it after spring break so that you can, I know you all want to work through spring break, right? No, only if you want to make up anything. If you want to start working on it now, any assignments that you feel like you know how to do now that you don't think you'll get full credit for, if you want to resubmit those, I'm going to let you do that up through the end of spring break. And so if you want to go ahead and do that, because now hopefully the things you had in chapter 1 or chapter 2 errors with, now you understand. So that's the idea. That's why I do something I call an amnesty day. Yes.
I
Robert.
haven't seen any of my grades for
I know. That's the only bad thing. So what you need to do, though, you probably know whether it was correct or not, and if the logic was right, and if you know now for sure that it wasn't, then you can go ahead and resubmit it. I will try to go through there. That's what I'm just sunk under with right now, is the grading. Both of my logic classes, this many students, I give too many assignments, but I don't know how else to find out if you understand it than to do that. So I will try to get that done. I try at night, and I'm sitting there at my keyboard going, "You done that right?" So I sympathize with you. I promise. That's why I try to be a little more lenient on due dates and stuff, because we all have things happen. All right, so we'll on Thursday then we will go over assignment 2, and we will start chapter 3. Okay, now I'm gonna let y'all out early today. I even came in late, so You get a little